Hello and welcome to today's Flow into Yoga Vinyasa class. So happy to have you here. If you don't know who I am, my name is Tonya. I am the founder of yogabytonya.com. So today's class is a slow flow to release tension and stress. Uh, One of the ways we're going to do that is if you have a foam roller, go ahead and grab it. And if you don't have a foam roller, maybe a couple of massage balls or tennis balls will be helpful. Also have a couple of blocks handy or a towel that you can roll up or a blanket. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start today on our mat, on our backs. And your knees are going to be bent, feet planted to the mat today. Feet a little wider than hip width, and just let the knees rest towards one another. And you're going to let your palms be facing up towards the ceiling. And go ahead and externally rotate your shoulders here, making a shelf for your heart and closing the eyes. Take a deep in breath in. Exhale, release. Another deep breath in. And exhale, release. We're going to do a square breath, and I'm going to guide you through that. So you're going to inhale to the count of 4. You'll pause to the count of 4. You'll exhale to the count of 4. You'll pause for a count of 4, and then we'll inhale. So let's go ahead and start by inhaling 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 3, 4. Pause. 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 4. And just let that go. Let the breath be organic. Noticing any areas of gripping or tension, any areas that need to be softened. And on your next exhale, you're just releasing those soft tissues to the pole of gravity, softening, releasing. Good. Blinking the eyes open. And then go ahead and walk your feet. They're hip width apart, so your knees are just lifting away from one another. And you're going to gently windshield wiper from side to side. Good. And coming back to center, walk the feet either hip width apart, or they can be a little bit wider than hip width apart. Externally rotate the shoulders, and then you're going to slowly begin to peel the tailbone away from the mat. Working slowly up the vertebrae to the thoracic spine right behind your rib cage there. And then you're going to go slow, reverse that back down towards the tailbone, going slow. We have 3 of these. Inhale, lifting up, moving up the spine. Then as you exhale, you're reversing. Last one. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, reversing. Good. And then on your next inhale, you're just going to take a full body stretch, pointing the toes away from the body, reaching through the fingertips, maybe arching the back. Good. And you're going to grab onto your foam roller. If you don't have a foam roller, no worries. You can also use a tennis ball or anything that's appropriate here. A foam roller will work best though. So we're going to bring our palms right behind us. And you're going to move the foam roller so it's just right behind the rib cage, a little bit lower than the shoulder blades. So if you move from side to side, you'll feel the foam roller, the top of the foam roller, right there underneath your shoulder blades. And you're just going to lean back and then lift up. So you're cat-cowing here. And you're going to start to move the foam roller up towards the shoulders. You're going slow. Good way to release tension and stress in the thoracic spine and the shoulders. Good, and you're just going to roll it back down to that starting point, down at the bottom of the rib cages there. Work your way back up. Until you get to a nice stopping point where you can still have control as you roll over that foam roller. Got one more. Good, and you're gonna go ahead and sit back up. Remove the foam roller, place it to the side. And we're gonna make our way to tabletop. So just taking your time, however you need to get there, moving into tabletop. Knees are hip width apart, big starfish hands here. And you're just gonna begin to shift the hips from side to side. And maybe look over your shoulder as you shift the hips from side to side. Good, and then you're going to start to do some jump rope movement with your rib cage. And then reverse, go in the opposite direction. Good, and then coming back to your tabletop, you're going to take your blocks, you're going to place them on the mat so the widest surface is facing up. And they're about shoulder width apart. You're going to place your forearms on the blocks. Walk your knees back a little bit. You want your hips to stay over or in front of your knees here, not behind the hips. You can even push these blocks a little bit forward. You're just going to let the forehead rest towards the mat. We're just coming into a supported puppy pose here. Letting the heart melt towards the mat. It's a nice stretch for the back of the shoulders, even the front of your I was gonna say the front of your torso, but it's kind of down the side of the torso there, from the shoulders down. It probably feels along the side of the rib cage on either side. And you're gonna press back up into tabletop. Again, your knees are hip width apart, big starfish hands. Inhale, drop your belly, cow. Exhale, round the spine, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Really press the mat away. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And move your spine to a neutral position. You're coming back into puppy. You're not using the blocks this time. Coming to the forearms. Notice your hips are going to stay over or in front of your knees. Forehead comes to the mat or towards the mat. You have 3 breaths here. Good. And then making your way back up into your tabletop. In your tabletop, inhale, drop your belly, cow. Exhale, round the spine, cat. Really press the mat away. Head is heavy. Inhaling back to a neutral spine. Sorry about that. So we're gonna go ahead and inhale, reach those left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Then exhale, thread the arm underneath the body. Shoulder hovers above the mat. Inhale, reach those fingertips up. Exhale, hover. Inhale, reach up, hold. And then exhale, thread the needle. So your shoulder and cheek come to the mat. Right arm can stay where it's at, or you can move it to the top of the mat or come into a bind. You have 3 breaths here. As you exhale, you're softening and releasing. And plant the right palm to the mat. Press the mat away. Reach those left fingertips towards the ceiling. And then coming back to tabletop. Inhale, drop your belly, cow. Exhale, round the spine, cat. Inhaling to a neutral spine. And then shifting the weight into the left palm. Or reach those right fingertips up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, thread that arm underneath, but the shoulder and cheek hover above the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the arm underneath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread under. Inhale, reach up. And this time as you exhale, bring that arm all the way underneath the body, shoulder and cheek come to the mat. Good, and then plant the palm to the mat. Press yourself back up into your tabletop. Inhale, drop your belly, cow. Exhale, round the spine, cat. Coming to a neutral spine, this time you're tucking your toes. Big starfish hands here. So I like to walk my palms just a little bit in front of my shoulders. We're moving into our down dog. But go ahead and lift your knees up so they hover. And when you lift your knees up, your shoulders will probably be over your wrists. And then lift your hips towards the ceiling. Big bend in the knees. You're pressing your hips up and back. If you have a concave or curved upper spine, just need to bend your knees a little bit more. You have 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look to the top of the mat, walk or step between your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward. And you're going to slowly go slow here, slower. Begin to roll up into Tadasana. Arms and head are heavy, slow. Head is the last to lift. Gaze is soft. The breath is deep. The breath is spacious. The breath is smooth and easy. Inhale, reach the palms up into extended mountain. Grab onto your left wrist, reach to the right. Exhale. Inhale up to center. You're going to switch the grip, and as you exhale, you're going to reach to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale this time, bring the palms behind the back. So option here to interlace the fingers. If you have limited mobility in your shoulders, just know you can place your palms on your sacrum here. You're going to reach those interlaced fingers towards the mat as you lift your breastbone towards the ceiling, keeping your chin tucked. And then come back to center. Bring the interlaced fingers over to your left hip, elbow hugs in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, your shoulder. So you can adjust here, especially if you have any sort of shoulder pain, you can just adjust, make all sorts of adjustments, anything that works for you. Exhale, chin to chest. Reach those interlaced fingers towards the mat as you lift the breastbone towards the ceiling. And coming back to center, bring those interlaced fingers over to the right hip or right side. Elbows hug in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, your shoulder. Grab, release chin to chest. Interlaced fingers reach toward the mat as you lift the breastbone up. And then exhale, big bend in the knees, coming into a forward fold. So you can keep the bind or release it. If you still have the bind, let the arms float slowly down. Arms are heavy, head is heavy. Maybe even sway side to side. You're just releasing the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. And also this should feel pretty good on your lower back. And then from here, you're going to slowly begin to roll up. Arms and head are heavy, going slow, slower. Going back to Tadasana. Inhale, reach the palms into extended mountain. Grab onto your left wrist, reach to the right. Inhale to center. You're switching the grip, and then as you exhale, you're reaching to the left. Inhale to center, and then as you exhale, bring the palms behind you. You can bind or not. Lift the breastbone up, keep the chin tucked. Shoulders externally rotate. Coming back to center, bring those interlaced fingers over to your left hip. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, your shoulder. Add some movement if that feels good to the neck. Exhale, chin to chest. Interlaced fingers reach towards the mat. Lift the breastbone up. Then go ahead and stack your shoulders over your hips. Interlace fingers to the right hip. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, your shoulder. Breath is deep and spacious. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, lift the breastbone up, back bend. Exhale, forward fold, big bend in the knees, belly to thighs. Bind or not. If you're still binding, arms are heavy, head is heavy. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms to the mat. Walk or step back to your. So in your plank, big starfish hands here. Shoulders are stacking over the wrist. Heels are over the balls of the feet. You're not concaving down, nor are you lifting your hips too high here. And then from here, you're dropping to the knees, the chin and chest, belly. Inhale, lifting the head and shoulders, coming into baby cobra. Elbows hug in. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes, and then press through table or plank to your down dog. Deep in breath. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, bend the knees, look to the top of the mat, walk or step between your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up into the extended mountain. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms to the mat, walk or step back to your plank. And then setting up your hair in your plank, just taking your time, making sure you got your foundation, and then dropping to the knees, the chin, chest, belly. Inhale, lifting up either baby cobra or cobra, elbows hug in, gazes down your nose. Exhale, release. And then make your way to your down dog. Bend into the knees, inhale. As you exhale, walk or step between your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up into extended mountain. Maybe look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms to the mat. Walk or step back to plank. So option here to drop to knees, chin, chest, belly. Move through a baby cobra or a cobra. Or if you want to shift forward on your toes, lower halfway to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Go ahead and do that. Make your way to your down dog. In your down dog, take a deep full in breath. Stay for the exhale. Inhale the left leg long, option to bend the knees, stack the hips. And then gently step this left foot forward, drop your back knee down. So if you have some blocks, maybe go ahead and grab them. We're going to shift back and forth here, however that looks to you. Just moving the joints of the knee and ankle and hip. We're also lengthening and shortening soft tissues of the legs. You're just going to come into your low lunge and let everything hammock towards the mat. So especially this right hip flexor here, just hammocking towards the mat. Maybe your gaze looks up a little bit. And so when I say that, I don't mean like tilt your head back. I just mean you're extending through the spine. All right, shift back into half splits. So your right hip is over or in front of your knee. If you have more mobility, you're just reaching that left foot forward. You can also add some movement here. The knee can be bent as much as you need it to be. Good, you're gonna bend into this left knee. Now listen, we're going to imagine that our heel and our knee are glued to the mat. Bring your palms to your thigh here. So they're glued to the mat. And then you're trying to pull your heel and your knee towards one another. So you're gonna feel the fibers of your hamstring and quad, they start to fire up. And you're gonna inhale, lift the breastbone up, and then exhale, round the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Then exhale, plant the palms to the mat. And again, you're going to shift back into half splits. Maybe this time you lean forward with the torso or not. And bending into your left knee, coming back to tabletop. And you're just going to go or flow to your down dog. So you can flow through a cobra, baby cobra, up dog. It doesn't matter. The choice is yours. You get to your down dog, inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale the right leg long, option to bend the knees, stack the hips. And then gently step this right foot forward and drop your back knee down. You're just going to begin to shift back and forth. So I like to use the blocks here, just gives me a little bit more space to move. A little bit more room to move the joints and the legs. I'm not all crunched down here. Have some space. Good. And then we're just going to come into this low lunge and let that left hip flexor just hammocks towards the mat. Shoulders move away from the ears. Breath is smooth and easy. And you're going to shift back into your half splits. And again, you can add some movement here if you need to, especially for this first one. Good. And bending into this right knee. So stay with me here. We're going to imagine that the heel and the knee are glued to the mat and try to pull them towards one another, making this active by firing up these muscles. So inhale and exhale through cat cow. 3 cat cows. You're planting the palms to the mat. And again, you're shifting into your half split. Maybe you can go a little deeper. Not forcing anything here. Again, you can add movement if that's what you need. Also, one side might be a little different than the other. And then bending into your right knee. Plant your palms to the mat, step the leg back, go or flow to your down dog. If you need a child's, take it. So we're going to go through that one more time. Inhale the left leg long, option to bend the knees, stack the hips, and then gently step that foot forward, drop the knee down. Maybe shift back and forth just 3 times here. You should have a lot more mobility going on. And you're going to hammock down, low lunge, hammock. And then shift back, half splits. Just go there. Maybe you can go a little deeper, not forcing anything. Bending into this knee. And lifting up into your low lunge. Inhale, lift the breastbone. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Cow. Exhale, cat. Plant the palms down. And again, you're going to shift back into your half splits. Bend into the knee. Plant the palms to the mat. Go or flow to your down dog. And about 3 breaths in your down dog. Inhale the right leg long, option to bend the knees, stack the hips. Gently step that foot forward, drop your knee down. And just adding this low lunge movement. And then just coming into a low lunge where you hammock the left hip flexor. And then shifting back into half splits. Or shifting forward. Just depends on your mobility. Don't force anything. If you have tight hamstrings, it's okay to have that knee bent a lot. It's a tough one. Actually, half splits is a really hard pose. So give yourself some grace here. Don't force anything. You're going to bend into this knee and then come on up into your low lunge. Now lift the breastbone, exhale around the spine. Cat and cow. Coming into low lunge. And then shifting back into half splits. Good. And you're going to step back this leg and go or flow to your down dog. When you get to down dog, you're going to drop the knees and come into a child's pose. You have 3 to 5 breaths here. As you exhale, you're just releasing tension and stress. Just let it go. Let the jaw melt away from the mouth. Heart and belly soften. Hips release towards the pole of gravity. You're going to inhale, round through the spine. Tabletop, tuck your toes, lift your hips, down dog. Inhale, bend into the knees, look to the top of the mat, walk or step between your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up into extended mountain. Exhale, let the arms float slowly down to the side body. Coming into mountain Tadasana. Okay, we're going to come into a balancing pose. We're going to do a one-leg Tadasana. So bring your palms to your heart space, shift your weight into your right foot, and lift that left knee up. So you can always use your block here if you need to. Also, another thing is helpful is to help keep that left foot flexed. You can also place your right palm on a wall or a piece of furniture. You can stay here or open arm twist to the left. Inhale back to one leg Tadasana. And then exhale, release. If you need to walk that out, go ahead and do that. Making your way back to Tadasana. Palms to your heart. Shifting your weight into the left foot, lift that right knee up. Focus on the breath. You can stay here or open arm twist to the right. And coming back to one leg Tadasana and to Tadasana. We're going to do that again. So I like to start in Tadasana, feet are hip width apart. You're stacking hips and shoulders, fingers reach towards the mat. Really lengthen through the spine here. Palms to your heart. Shift your weight into your right foot. Lift that left knee up. Stay here, or open arm twist to the left. And coming back to center, and go ahead and step out of that. Lifting the right knee up. Stay here, or open arm twist to the right. And then coming back to center. Let's come into Tadasana. Fingers reach towards the mat. Inhale, reach up into extended mountain. Exhale to a forward fold. Bend into your knees, hug your thighs to your belly. Head is heavy. Maybe swaying side to side. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms to the mat, and let's go ahead and step the right leg back. So we're coming into a crescent lunge. You can keep your palms planted to the mat, or you can place a block underneath your right hand. Inhale, reach those left fingertips towards the ceiling, or place that left palm on your hip. You're stacking your shoulders. Maybe you look up at your thumb. Good. Plant the palms to the mat. This time we're going to lift up into our high crescent lunge. Know you have a back knee if you need it. So you can drop to that back knee. And cactus your arms here. Inhale, lift the breastbone. Exhale, round spine. Forearms can either touch or come to the midline. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round in. Inhale, lift up. Reach up into extended arms. And then exhale your palms to your heart. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, we're twisting to the left. So you can say hi here, or elbow can come to the outside edge of your thigh. It's helpful here to lift that back thigh towards the ceiling. If you're really struggling, just drop that back knee down. No worries. You got about 3 to 5 breaths here. Make them count. Focusing on the qualities of the breath. And you're going to exhale, plant your palms to the mat. Step the right leg up to meet the left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hug your thighs to your belly. You can add some movement here or not. The breath is spacious. The breath is deep. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms to the mat or even to your blocks here. And you're stepping your left leg back. You can keep your left palm to the mat or a block. Reach those right fingertips up towards the ceiling or place them on your hips. Just crescent lunge twist here. You can also be on your back knee. The breath is smooth. The breath is easy. Exhale, release the palms down. And this time you're going to lift up into your either high crescent lunge or low. Cactus the arms, lift the breastbone up, inhale. And exhale, round the spine, forearms come to center. Inhale, expand. Exhale, round in. Inhale, expand, lift the breastbone up, maybe lift the arms up. And then exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, we're twisting to the right. So high or low. Exhale, plant your palms down. You're stepping the back leg up to meet the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And we're going to slowly begin to roll up. Go slow. Arms and head are heavy. Imagine you're stacking your vertebrae. Head is the last to lift. Tadasana. Inhale, reach the palm up into extended mountain. Grab onto the left wrist or reach to the right. Inhale to center, switch the grip. Exhale, reach to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, this time you're just cactusing your arms, lifting the breastbone up. Inhale, extend. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale this time, planting the left palm to the mat, bend into this left knee. Inhale the right fingertips up. So we're just twisting to the right. It's a half lift or forward fold twist. Exhale, release the right palm down. Bend into that right knee. Inhale, reach those left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms to the mat. Walk or step back to your plank. Drop to the knees, chin, chest, belly. Inhale, lifting the head and shoulders of the feet, coming into locust. Maybe even reach the fingers towards the heels or the feet. Gazes down your nose. And also flutter your feet. If you really want to challenge, you reach the arms forward. And you're going to exhale, release down. So stack your palms on top of one another. You can rest your forehead or cheek down onto your forearm or not your forearms, but your palms are stacked on top of one another. And just windshield wipering the knees or the feet from side to side. Good. And then from here, you're just gonna lift up into Sphinx. So forearms are on the mat, big starfish hands, shoulders are over your elbows, and gazes down your nose. If this hurts your lower back, or if you have lower back issues, you might not want to do this. You might just want to come back into a baby cobra. Good. And then you're just gonna release that. Release the chest. And press through table and shift back into your child's pose. Notice your breath. Exhale, you're just softening, releasing tension and stress here. Just go lift the head and torso up. Bring the right arm underneath the body. So you're threading your needle here in a child's pose. You may need to walk forward, the body forward just a little bit, and then shift back, or whatever it looks like to you. So we're just in a thread the needle variation. Deep in breath. Exhale, release. Allowing the jaw and eyes to relax, soften. Shoulders soften. And then lifting up, shifting back to child's pose. Exhale. Breath is smooth and easy. The breath is continuous. And you lift your torso up and bring that left arm underneath the body, shoulder and cheek come to the mat. Just thread the needle variation here. And as you exhale, you're softening into a pull of gravity. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, releasing. And then go ahead and lift back up, all the way up. And let's see, we're gonna make our way onto our backs here. Have your props handy. So when you get to your back, you're just gonna inhale, lift the hips up into bridge. Exhale, release the hips down. So we're just gonna come into a hip flexor stretch here. Go ahead and grab your block. So I like to use my block. I like to use it on the mid length here and put this portion of the block underneath my sacrum. For some people, that is just too much, and you'll need to take a blanket or a towel and just roll it until you get a pretty good width here. So you don't want something really small to the ground, even like this. You want it to be a good 5 or 6 inches. So just take a minute here, make sure you're comfortable, or as comfortable as you can be, and you're just gonna lift your knees up. Extend, let's go ahead and extend the left leg long at a 45-degree angle. And so you're gonna hold on to your knee or your thigh here. And then as you exhale, you're just gonna drop the heel down maybe 2 inches and hold. Inhale, lift that heel back up a couple inches and hold. And then release the heel down towards the mat about 3 inches and hold. Inhale, lift up a couple inches. And then release that heel down about 3 and hold. And you'll begin to find an area that's a little bit harder, a little bit more challenging. Maybe you're shaking, that's good. Inhale, lift up. We're building some strength in our hip flexors. Portion right here. I'm gonna release the heel down a couple of inches and hold. The heel up. And this time you're just gonna release the foot to the mat. And let this be a passive stretch. You can even hug this right knee towards your chest. So this, if you'll notice, this is a prone low lunge. So we're just changing the center of gravity. So instead of the gravity being underneath our feet, is behind us. It totally changes. Also adding the prop here is leverage. How much length you get into this hip flexor, especially because we're adding the strengthening exercises before we go into a passive stretch. Strengthening first and then stretching after. I like to hold this for about a minute if time allows. And this is a good exercise you can do at home. So we're gonna switch to the other side. So we're just gonna lift that left leg up, interlace the fingers behind the thigh, hold on to the knee, extend that right leg long to a 45-degree angle. Exhale, drop the heel down a couple of inches and hold. Inhale, lift up and hold. Exhale, release that leg down, maybe 3 inches and hold. Inhale, lift the leg up a couple inches, hold. Leg down about 3 inches and hold. Lift up a couple inches, hold. Release the leg down, maybe 3 and hold. Inhale, lift up a couple, hold. And this time as you exhale, just letting that leg come to the mat. The breath is deep. The breath is spacious. And then from here, we're just gonna go ahead and bend the knees, plant the feet to the mat, lift the hips up, and just remove your prop. Just allow the back body just to relax and release on the mat. You can windshield bar the knees if that feels good. Even hug your knees to your chest if that feels good. Or some of us just may need to just let the back rest. Good. You're going to bring your knees over your hips. Exhale the knees to the left side. Maybe look over your right shoulder. Inhale back up to center. Then exhale the knees over to the right side. Maybe look over the left shoulder. Shoulders are on the mat. Breath is smooth and easy. Good. Inhale the knees back up to center. So hug your knees to your chest. Maybe lift the head and shoulders, tight little ball. And then exhale, releasing into your Shavasana. Just taking up space, closing your eyes. Take a deep in breath. Exhale, release. Shavasana, rest pose. Beginning to noticing how mind and body have stilled and settled. Adding some gentle movement to the fingers and toes, soft gaze. And when you're ready, take an inhale and a full body stretch. As you exhale, bending your knees, rolling to the right side in a fetal position. Just allowing space here for renewal, space for self-care. And then when you're ready, gently press yourself up into a seated position of your choice. Palms to your heart space, bow your head. May there be peace in your thoughts. May there be peace in your words. May there be peace in your heart. And may you share that with all beings. Thank you so much for joining me. With so much gratitude. Namaste. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. This was also posted to YouTube at this time. So please go ahead and check out our online membership. Weekly classes 3 times a week with replays. We'd love for you to come check us out. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Talk to you soon.